Welcome back to the GP podcast. Today we're talking and discussing World of Warcraft Hardcore. Why is Hardcore so popular? Or will Hardcore WoW revolutionize the WoW franchise? And watch till the end because we have very insanely amazing suggestions from the AI in case of World of Warcraft's future, especially with Hardcore. Amazing ideas. So watch till the end. And today with me, as always, Stefan aka Bazooka Bird, and myself, Mickey, aka Van Mick. And yeah, Stefan, all good?
All good, as always. And yeah, so we have different kind of features in our podcast, and our first feature will be the critical hit. And in the critical hit, we talk about different kind of topics outside of our topic for today. And it can be everything, it doesn't have to be from us. So, Michael, what is your first critical hit?
My first critical hit about not about the topic, a general critical hit is League of Legends players are the better gamers compared to World of Warcraft players.
Oh, hard question. I think depends. If you see, for example, the last raid where there was fighting the end boss, and it was they did I don't know 300 tries or something like that, and everything is perfecting, choosing you have to play that world, you have to play this, you have to do at this time this thing, and there was one log, for example, saving the complete raid for one portal. And so in this kind of stage, I would say it is more similar, maybe even harder, because in LoL, for example, it depends most of the time only on you, not every time, but most of the time. And in World of Warcraft, for example, if you play with 5 or a full raid with others and play for example, Mythic, it is way harder. But if you play it every time, it is always the same. So there's nothing which will change. So that's because League of Legends will be always harder, because you always play against a different kind of player, and it can be always different, and he can make some crazy stuff which you not thought about it. And you play against NPC, which is a boss in the end, and it has his routines and his attacks, and it's always the same. Every 30 seconds there is this one attack, and everybody knows it. In League of Legends, he flashed into me. You don't know when it happened, yeah? So I think yes and no, but more yes than no.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I think actually you can. The hardest game modes, I think there's no discussion about it. The hardest game modes are always PvP because everything is complete individual. Because in PvP you can see what's going on, and you can it's repetitive, you know.
I forgot PvP completely in World of Warcraft.
Yeah. And so you have to compare the PvP World of Warcraft to the PvP or to League of Legends because it's a PvP game. And when you compare these two, the hardest mode in PvP in organizing a group is probably 3 versus 3 in World of Warcraft, because Battleground is something completely different. And when you compare the 3 versus 3 against the League of Legends, it's because of the game mode. The game mode in League of Legends is way more complex, and you have way more things to do with the minions, with the wardings, with the bosses, and everything else. So I think in general, when you compare those two PvP modes, PvP in League of Legends is way harder. So I think in general, League of Legends is a harder game.
Yeah, let's see. I think Tyler 1 is playing at the moment World of Warcraft Hardcore, so he should be very good, right?
He does a very good job. He hasn't died. He is now level 23 or 25 or something like that, and a lot of other World of Warcraft players already died, so he's a very crazy guy. But
It was funny. Yesterday I saw a video where he went into his first dungeon and he has to go into a cave and he said, "That looks sussy. I don't want to go in there. Why you all want to that I want to go in there?" He was really scared to go in there.
he plays so scared. Yeah, that's funny. But he knows what to do and what not to do. He's very reasonable, and he's a crazy guy because he can play everything. It's crazy.
Yeah. So my critical hit would be the push for cloud gaming is overrated and not ready for mainstream adoption due to latency issues.
I agree. It can change in the next 5 years because of Elon Musk's company. I forgot the name, but at the moment it's not possible. I think because in a lot of countries in the world, even very high-end countries, it's not possible to have a very good latency still.
I don't know if you mean Starlink, maybe?
Yeah, Starlink.
Yeah, Starlink. So, yeah, I was researching and it seems that there's a push at the moment for cloud gaming. And so that's why I have it. And also, at the moment, yeah, you're right, it is a problem, but I think it's most likely that near future that it will be no problem anymore because there's an Elon Musk with Starlink connecting the whole world with the best internet you can have. So then you have not this problem anymore. So yeah, but let's see.
If that problem is solved, I mean, it can be insane. I played in countries where I stayed with a very good internet and latency. I played cloud gaming, and it was like you have a real PC. The only thing you need is a big screen. Actually, you could do it from your phone. It's insane. It's very good.
Yeah, especially like we have a MacBook, so that's the nice thing. You can play also the other games as well with cloud gaming.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, that were the critical hits. I would say let's go to the keyboard warrior, to your comments from about this topic or about the last topics, and let's discuss those.
Finally, World of Warcraft brings back a real challenge.
In case of hardcore, right? Yeah, I agree. World of Warcraft is too easy. In case of when you don't look at the highest difficult modes like a mythic raiding or a PvP or something like that, but the base game was more difficult earlier when Classic launched or something like that, but that was probably because we were all dumb and young. But yeah, Classic hardcore or hardcore in general is a very nice challenge. I agree.
Yeah, I agree as well. I have to say I never played like World of Warcraft hardcore for myself, but I think I will give it a try maybe. And yeah, so if you see the videos how people like have problems fighting one monster and you compare it to retail like going into the dungeon and like in 5 minutes you're done with the complete dungeon because your tank is just running always. It's a different experience, right?
Completely different, definitely, yeah. What is the next comment?
The next comment is World of Warcraft hardcore is a dumb idea.
Disagree. That's a dumb person which were writing the comment. I think it's an amazing idea because it gives the old game more spice and a fresh look. Because when you played hardcore at some point, you approach the game completely different. You don't play anything same as you play in a normal way. So it's a game mode which makes the game completely different.
Yeah, also disagree. And if you see at the moment OnlyFans, the guild from Soda Pop in, it's crazy what are they doing, and it is completely different than shit. It is gold.
Yeah, I would say then let's go to the Mac, to our personal Mac Gorar of opinions, to the Duel of the Death. Here we share opinions about the topic today in the video and discuss these Each of us has one opinion. It doesn't have to be our own opinion, but a critical opinion. So my Makogar of opinion is World of Warcraft should commit to maximal 2 different versions of World of Warcraft instead of 8 different versions at the moment. With, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like World of Warcraft Classic, Hardcore, Retail. I think Mist of Pandaria at the moment, or the Cataclysm.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Cataclysm and the Season of Discovery and the Burning Crusade and.
Yeah, but well, I think they're trying to make everyone happy, and also Xario told explained his thoughts to that World of Warcraft should be try not to make everyone happy, and is doing what is good. So like the big community are playing at the moment like World of Warcraft Hardcore because of only things possible, and if you see that, you should think about maybe we should change something in retail that people who are playing retail have also more fun, or maybe even the big community behind the classic or hardcore moments will join your new content as well. And yeah, so I think yes.
I agree 100%. I think so too, because then you have more players. You cannot make everyone happy, and you have more players in those 2 different versions then. Yeah.
So my macro of opinion, only thing is proving that players crave authentic, challenging content, and it's setting a new standard for the industry.
It does, and that's the very exciting thing. I compare it all the time to GTA RP. GTA Online, you have a ton of options to let the players be creative, and that is the direction at the moment of World of Warcraft Classic. And they love the game, and they want to experience new things in the game, so they will get creative, and that's incredible.
Yeah. When I watch at the moment the OnlyFans videos on YouTube, for example, then I compare it to Twitter, where Elon Musk is saying we are the media now, and we players are now like the developers of the game who are creating new systems, new features in the game, which are exciting and this kind of stuff. So, yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Let's go right to the next schedule, to the quest and answers topic. Do you want to explain the viewers which are not knowing what OnlyFans and stuff like that is? Your first question.
So my first question would be, what exactly is OnlyFans and how does it influence World of Warcraft Hardcore? So OnlyFans is a guild, and it is created by Soda Poppin, if I'm right. And he invited like, I don't know how many YouTubers and streamers, but a lot. And even like players from different industry, like Tyler One, where only played League of Legends, and he's now having his first experience with World of Warcraft, and a lot of other players who only touched it first time World of Warcraft now. And they have like a rule system where they're saying that's allowed, that's not allowed, and if someone is like cheating, for example, then there will be a real punishment, and the punishment feels real, and people are really accountable for that also, and doing that what they have to do then, for example, killing the character, which means in World of Warcraft Hardcore, if you die, you have to restart again, and that's a big point, and the pain point as well. So yeah, but OnlyFans is a guild, and there is a lot of streamers, and they have a different rule setup. Do you have something to add to that?
No, that's what it is. A lot of famous streamers are in there, and that's what makes it very appealing. Yeah, and it's actually the second try. They did it before once in the first season, I would say, first launch of the Hardcore Realms, and now it's the second one. It's way bigger because the players couldn't choose the races for their own. They had to do a quiz, and after the quiz, they got told what kind of races they are. And now that's through the proximity chat, because Stefan said that the players are now the devs, and Soderpoppin and his team, they created an add-on. They developed an add-on for World of Warcraft for themselves, and through that they have the proximity chat, and they have the different rule sets for which they gave themselves. So that makes this whole thing so exciting. The proximity chat and all the different things. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. So, but like that's only things. What does but how does it influence World of Warcraft Hardcore? Like, how do they influence World of Warcraft Hardcore with their presence?
You mean OnlyFans?
Yeah.
They hype the whole hardcore things way more up, and they, through OnlyFans and through the point that every influencer and streamer has a race and is in a race family, I would say, there is a certain RP into hardcore implemented, and that makes it even way more interesting. Also through the proximity chat, because that creates a certain dynamic. As I told you before, I compared it to GTA RP. GTA Online is only so successful because of all the players which are playing it and RPing and are creative, and that is happening at the moment with that, and that is what makes it so interesting and appealing. I for myself, when I watch these videos, when I see all this different kind of stuff, I get excited. I want to play it. That's the good thing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. That was also my question. I want to hear your opinion for that as well. What makes World of Warcraft Hardcore appealing in general, even for retail players like Stefan?
I think it is really the role play feature, because if you watch these kind of videos and like if I play World of Warcraft Classic, it is for myself too slow. And maybe also too hard, because I know like what I have to spend and focus to play the game. Because you see like one little mistake and your character is gone. And for example, like what's his name? He was AFK in a dungeon. And he was not on follow, and then he was pulling a lot of mobs into the dungeon, and like 3 people died. So I think what makes it popular is really the roleplay feature, like people talking like orcs, talking like undead. Or for example, there was one undead who had no mouth anymore, and then he was like talking like, I can't up my mouth. Like this kind of thing. It is so funny. And with the proximity chat, when you go away, you hear like you walk and you hear like people talking. It is like really like MMO now. Like if you compare it to retail has doesn't to do with an MMORPG actually, because like there's not much role play going in the game really. Yeah.
Retail feels dead. When you compare it to that, retail feels dead also through the layering. When I walk through the world in retail, outside, not in the main city, but outside, I rarely see players. I see maybe 1, maybe 2 players, but I don't see any players in the world at all. Classic, different story.
Yeah. And I think like that's the most important thing in the end. Content is, or like the game itself is not important anymore, because it is then important about the connection and the people inside the game, and you have just a nice experience like watching someone is going into the arena and fighting for his life, and everybody is like celebrating it. It's so funny, like you will only have a great time, and that's the point.
Yeah, and the thrill through you only have one life with the character. I think that makes it so special as well. I mean, when you're in the arena and You know you will die, but there's this tiny chance. The emotions are high. That's the cool thing.
And then a 60 is coming and killing everything.
That's how it goes with cheaters.
So, yeah, we already told, I had one question, why are hardcore mode attracting so many players now? And you already told, like, most likely because a lot of influencers are playing it in the guild of OnlyFans and making a lot of content out there and a lot of nice, funny stories. And so I think that's one thing. And of course, the thing that you can die and lose everything, which is different because that's the only game I know when you die that you lose actually everything. Is there one other game?
Diablo has it as well. A couple games have it, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the question I ask myself, not really me myself, but I can imagine that a lot of viewers ask that question because I watched Tyler one as well. It's the most interesting to me because he's a League of Legends player first time. That's very interesting, and he says it all the time. So my question is World of Warcraft hardcore actually hard?
Is he questioning it because it is easy for him?
He said all the time, guys, it's so easy. The game is so easy. You only have to walk. You only have to make your eyes open and walk through the world. The game is so easy.
Good impression.
I have to take the microphone way more to my mouth when I make the Tyler 1 expression.
So, yeah, we talked about it in the last podcast. If you don't watch it now. Or later on, better. But, yeah, it could be potential that maybe League of Legends player are the better ones playing this kind of thing and thinking, that's easy. I don't have to think so much and look for a skill to hit me that and this. So, yeah. And also, like, I think for us as a retail player, we are, like, used to think everything is easy. Yeah, let's pull the whole raid. Let's pull everything. And then you pull and think, holy shit, that's not working here. And then you die. And then you think, oh, that's hard. And then you try with 3 mobs and you die. And you think, what the hell? Then you fight only one. And then you think, that was a hard fight. And so I think if you're used to the retail servers, then it is hard. But maybe for someone who is playing it first time, it is just normal. You will try, you think, okay, I cannot do more than once or two, and then you get, used to it, right?
Yeah, I think it is hard, but it's only hard because you have to focus all the time. You cannot go too crazy because then you lose your completely all your progression. So yeah, you have to be focused, and that's the thing. You have to be focused for a long time. That's the only thing. Tyler 1 says World of Warcraft is a walking simulator because you only walk, which is true. You walk a lot, but yeah, he says that is the difficult part of the game. You walk. If you scratch out all the walking parts, then the game is very easy. But you have to walk a lot.
I have to watch more videos from Tyler 1, I think.
He's the funniest guy ever, man.
Okay, what impact could the success of World of Warcraft Hardcore have on the future game design? Maybe also compared to with the feature OnlyFans is putting in.
Yeah, that was one thing I was thinking when I saw the OnlyFans thing was also WoW retail and stuff like that. They have to implement proximity chat. Proximity chat, for example, New World had it as well. It was so immersing and it was so much more fun. So I think a MMO needs to have a proximity chat. That is a baseline for something like that. It has to be done. And I think World of Warcraft they have implementation of a voice chat in game, but you only connect with each other into a group, so it shouldn't be a huge problem to do it. I mean, they did it with an add-on.
Yeah, it should be easy. Like you have a range, and then the range is triggering,
Yeah.
and
Right.
then you can decide if it's on or off.
Yeah, right. But I think in general, don't focus too much on make players busy. I hope that goes into new developments of MMOs as well, because in World of Warcraft, when you go into World of Warcraft, I play World of Warcraft only because I'm stressed out to do things. They pressure me to do things, you know? If to do the weekly stuff and to do the great walls and stuff like that. That's the only thing I play World of Warcraft at the moment, but because I don't want to miss out. I play because of FOMO. That's the thing. But World of Warcraft in the past was different, and I think that is the vibe which is being created through the hardcore stuff and through the classic stuff as well. And I'm glad. I should really try to start that again, because it has a way cooler vibe in general. But the FOMO is kicking in retail as well. So yeah, that's the bad stuff. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good point from you. Like saying like changing the end game, because like we are living only in FOMO that we have to do that, and if you change the end game and also the leveling part, that you log in because you're leveling, right? And also like if you think about like the World of Warcraft universe is big, like they have so many maps, but you use like maybe 10% of it, right?
Probably one.
And yeah, and you would never thought about it. And if you do less things, people will do maybe other things more. And yeah, that's a good point from you.
Yeah, very, very interesting. My next question would be in regards of that. Can you see a hardcore mode in retail? WoW, would it make sense for you? And if yes, how would you do it?
I thought about it. If I play with my DK on a hardcore server, and I would lose my DK, what I will do later on. German, you would say it brings a spice into the game. So I think it is interesting because you would play the game different, and also yeah, I think I would be really high stressed out.
Probably, but let's keep that question for the AI as well, because the machine overload later on my side, they had incredible ideas for that.
But I think I would go for yes.
Okay. I would go for yes as well, because I think as an optional mode, it would be interesting, definitely, and would bring more spice, as you said. Which class would you play in hardcore WoW, and why?
I thought about it yesterday actually, and I think I would go for a healer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Because you
I'm
think that's
I'm
the
not
best.
sure if it's a right call, but so I if I do something wrong, because like normally I would say I play warrior because I am a type of warrior, so I go into it Rambo and try to kill as much as possible. But like I play like Rambo, so I would die a lot, so I have to restart a lot. So I'm not sure if I would play that. Yeah. So I thought about, okay, I should pick then something else that I'm not playing the Rambo, because Rambo is maybe the wrong pick for World of Warcraft Hardcore.
I would have guessed you picked either a warrior or a mage. But a healer was definitely not expected.
Yeah.
That means you're very scared of death.
I'm not scared of death. I'm scared of my time, because if you have kids and also not much time for playing, and then you play and you're dying, you have to always restart. I don't know if I would stick to the game.
Okay. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So what character would you play?
I played in the first launch of the hardcore rims. I played a character. I played priest before, and I brought my priest. I think I played till 26 or 27 or something like that level. yeah, it was not really hard till then. Sometimes you're very scared because something happens. You pull 2 mobs accidentally, and then you're getting into the sweat mode. But if you do everything reasonable, then it works out. Yeah, but yeah, it was pretty cool.
We have to ask Rodolfo if he would be into it. It would be pretty funny if we play 3 of us World of Warcraft Hardcore.
That would be really funny. Yeah.
We have to ask him.
No.
So, what would you pick? Like priest, or I think first character was paladin, right? On classic.
On the real classic, my first character was a paladin. That's true. The first character I leveled till max level was paladin. This time, I'm not sure. I would either go for warlock, paladin, or priest, but I'm not sure what I would choose, because you have to think about it. I think they will develop the servers as well, but it's hardcore. You can die at any point, so no need to think about the future. Yeah, probably if it's only the mode now and only classic now, then I would probably go for either priest or warlock, because paladins are trash, only good as healers in classic.
Yeah, interesting. I would like to do a Makarao with you.
Yeah, we know all how that ends, like all the duels before.
I would die.
Probably. Yeah. Do you have any questions left?
I think we already talked about like what challenge. Maybe if you have one which we not talked about, what challenges do players face in World of Warcraft Hardcore that is different from the standard game?
Yeah, being reasonable is, I think, the biggest challenge. To think about what you're doing and not to go without brain into the fight, and to be a little bit more strategic. You also have to be strategic, because you have to. Classic and especially hardcore is also the mode where professions, for example, are very valuable. In retail, everybody don't cares about profession. If you have it, okay. If you don't have it, it's not an issue. But in hardcore, you will definitely do the things where you can create the things which you help you in the engineering, right? You have to do the engineering, you know. Sorry?
Consumables?
Yeah,
like
you have to
bombs.
You have to
and
level
this
the
kind of stuff.
engineering for the consumables, right? Because there are a lot of things which can save your life, and you have to do the first aid, for example. So professions are very important and can help you and save you a lot of time, and especially when you think about either I level 1 hour for this profession or I lose 40 hours of progression of my character. So it's a worth trade, right? So yeah, you have to. It's a complete different game, and that's the funny thing. You think about a lot of things in the game are more valuable, and in retail they are probably have zero value. But in hardcore they are ultra valuable because of the game mode. So that makes it interesting. Yeah. What do you think?
I would add to that slow pace. It feels way slower. It is not like if you see also the monsters are not doing crazy stuff. Your cast, everything is more slower. So slow pace could be maybe a problem for a few of us.
For
AKA
you.
Bazooka Bird.
Yes. And I was talking with your cousin as well about that, because I said maybe I will play Classic a little bit at the launch. We talked about that 2 months before or something like that. He said I couldn't play that. I play Demon Hunter. It's way too slow for me. Yeah, and the mobility as well. So think about it. You play a Demon Hunter, mobility as fuck, and the gameplay is so quick, and then you go to Classic and you walk like this, and then you fight and wait for the next swing of your weapon.
Like even auto attacks are important, right?
Yeah, it's like day and night, bro. It's like day and night. Yeah, I can see that they cannot do it.
Yeah, it would be funny.
Would be
Okay,
fun.
one last question, Michael. What does the popularity of World of Warcraft Hardcore say about the current gamer preferences in total, like not only in the World of Warcraft?
Yeah, I think we saw a couple years ago it started that a lot of players want to go and experience the old games as well. That was also a hype with World of Warcraft Classic. And as I said before 3 times now, the creativity, gamers want to be creative. Gamers want to be immerse themselves into a world. And that is what World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore is creating. That was what GTA RP is creating. These are the highly immersive surroundings which player want, and not the hyper grindy FOMO gameplay we have at the moment. Sometimes it's nice to play that as well, for sure. But all the time, doing that all the time, you're getting burned out. That's what happens. What do you think?
Agree. I think what we see is that people wanna have, like, if you think about, at the moment there are more people, I think, playing the 2004 version instead of the 2024 version. So that's a huge thing. If you think like 20 years difference and you still want to play that because the experience is way better, that's crazy if you think about it. So the game developers have really to think, why is this game still better than this? What did we wrong? And what could be, maybe if we did that 2024 version like this, maybe we would be somewhere else compared to maybe League of Legends with 180 million players instead of 12 million players. Who knows?
That is a very good question. Yeah, they want to go. I mean, if you saw Season of Discovery, the Classic Plus, I would say, they want to go into the direction to evolve Classic again from the beginning. If they do, and if they go into interesting direction, yeah, that could be also an interesting way, and they could reverse their failures and mistakes, maybe.
Yeah, but Season of Discovery was a little bit crazy. Like, you could play a mage as a heal.
Yeah, no. I mean, that was only. I think that was only for testing things out and looking how far they can go.
Yeah. So
I have one last question. What do you think? What it's Classic came out, then Season of Discovery came out, and then now Hardcore came out for Classic. What do you think? What would be the future of WoW in case of Hardcore? Do you think Hardcore can evolve, or is Hardcore and that's the finish line?
I think there will be this difference, yeah. I
Mm.
can't imagine that they will do something like everything will be hardcore. So if you die, you lose everything. I can't imagine that this will happen.
No. I don't think so too. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But now I have one question. Do you think we can, for example, create something similar than OnlyFans on the retail server? Is this possible that you have on retail servers the same experience like on World of Warcraft Hardcore?
With the add-on, you can. I think definitely, because World of Warcraft Hardcore was created through an add-on on the normal World of Warcraft servers. That's where I played it first. So you can do it definitely, but I think it wouldn't make so much sense because, to be honest, leveling through till 70 is a joke. You never die. You even can do dungeons solo and you never die. So there's not a real threat. You can pull, at some point you can pull crazy mobs and you don't die. Even if you're naked and even if you don't have equip, it's still not hard. So yeah, I think it lacks hard the difficulty.
Yeah, I agree. I can also imagine that on retail you could something do similar. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, that was the question and answer topic, I would say. Let's go over to AI. What does AI think about this topic? We include that every time now, from now on, because AI is the future and we want to hear the opinion of the AI. Stefan, tell us what ChatGPT says, and afterwards I tell you what Grok says.
Right, so ChatGPT is saying permadeath should become standard in more games to truly challenge players.
Should become the standard. So that means probably should be the baseline. That's interesting. It would be good for immersion, but not good for progress. Players who love progress so much. So I think it should be optional, but not the baseline.
I think if I reflect it, I would agree. I probably will not like it, but I think I would agree because you will play the game different. And also, like, if you compare it, for example, to Ready Player One, if you die there, you lose also everything. So, and like it's like a real world. You have your character, and if you die here, you restart from zero, right? So it is a different immersion, and I think it feels more real. And you will play the game completely different. You will really think about, and also you will be, if you get something, for example, you really think, oh, I get the new item. I have to be careful now because I can lose it. That makes a complete different experience. So I think I would agree.
Talking about all this stuff makes me really want to play it, to be honest, and to invest time in it. In the long run, it has the thrill, and it's time part of the game to die then for sure. But it has the thrill, and you get way more connected. I think in the long run, it probably would be more fun. But yeah, I have to test it out. Yeah, my machine overload from Grok says a couple things. He suggested me a couple game modes for retail World of Warcraft about Classic, and these are the followings. A time-locked hardcore season, similar to Plunderstorm or the Mist of Pandaria play mode. Imagine Blizzard introducing seasons, where for a limited time players can experience a hardcore version of current content or past expansions. Each season might have its own twist, like Survive the Burning Crusade, Classic Cataclysm Hardcore Edition, where dying locks you out of the season. So you have only one life per season. But the rewards for surviving could be unique mounts, titles, or legacy armor appearances that carry into retail. What do you think?
Yeah, why not? Would be interesting, would be new. And a lot of people will complain because they are dying and losing everything. But
it's only a one character, you know. You can create a new character, and with this character you have to go through it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would go for that.
The next thing would be dynamic world events. Hardcore could inspire more dynamic world events where the community's success or failure in hardcore challenges impact the world of Azeroth. If enough players survive a hardcore event, perhaps it could lead to a peaceful outcome in the story, whereas high death tolls might trigger darker narrative path. That means you have a hardcore event with a lot of hardcore characters. If too much characters are dying, the world is getting corrupted because not much champions left anymore and stuff like that for the next expansions. So the player decide actually where it's going, you know?
Yeah, dynamic world would be awesome if it really worked. So far, I think there are like no one who could do like a really nice thing about that. So yeah, would be nice. And also what I thought about that is that if you think like on retail, there's one boss which is really hard, and he has the hardcore part. So, for example, the dragonfly, the fire boss, the
Ragnaros
what?
or Deathwing Ragnaros, or
Yes.
what do you mean?
Yeah, let's go with Deathwing for example. If Deathwing
Mm.
has a kill animation for hardcore that if you die there, you will die, and you have to delete her.
Mm.
So like different
Mm.
kind of things, which is really like if you die, you die. If
Mm.
you go on this quest, this is a hardcore quest. If you lose, you will die. You can choose, like you
No.
don't have to do it, but if you do it, then you have a big reward. But also, you have the opposite. You can die.
That would be spicy and interesting. If you have those bosses or those dungeons or those quest lines, yeah, that's interesting. That's also something he said here. He would introduce the last point, hardcore crafting. Introduce a crafting system where certain items and professions can only be mastered by those playing under hardcore restrictions, perhaps requiring materials from dangerous one life only quests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would make it very interesting. I would
Yeah.
bet. So much creativity which you could introduce into those retail things. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This was the machine overload. We are World of Warcraft hardcore, very interesting topic, and we hope the OnlyFans stuff will go well. It changed the complete World of Warcraft style, I would say, and even we are interested in it, so that means a lot. And yeah, let's see how it goes. And I would say the last words, as always, will be yours, Stefan.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure OnlyFans will inspire some devs for Blizzard and change maybe some dev protocols, and hopefully they will do something also in retail. And other than that, thank you for your time. If you never check Gamers Playground on the App Store or Google Play Store, give it a try. It's the best gaming dating app so far on the planet. If you don't believe it, check my video, Top 10 Gamer Dating Apps. I prove you that. And other than that, I have nothing to tell.
And the last is the next topic of the next podcast will be Elon Musk creates a gaming AI company. We will discuss that a little bit. If you want to see that in the next podcast, give us a like on this video and subscribe to the channel that you don't forget or miss the video. And yeah, I would say we see each other then in the next podcast. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.